So they go and they load up, those movers will load up those trucks, and they'll go put that stuff in storage for 90 days. And you have to pay, as a tax sale buyer, you have to pay that moving bill. You don't have to pay the storage bill, but you have to pay how much it costs to get that licensed, bonded, and insured mover to physically load up those trucks and put that stuff in storage. Now, we don't have in the Indiana tax sale code how long that stuff has to stay in storage, that personal property. But most of the judges that I've dealt with will look at the landlord-tenant statute when it comes to personal property, and they say, we want it kept in there for 90 days before it's sold to pay that storage bill, whatever. It doesn't necessarily have to be a petition for writ of assistance in the same cause number. I've seen tax sale buyers go into small claims court and do a kick out, an eviction. They attach a copy of their tax deed, and they do it that way. To me, it seems you could have saved the filing fee because there's already a case that's already been opened. Small claims filing fee is roughly $90 there, give or take. And you have to go through that process, and then you'll have a constable go do the kick out. I like going back, following the tax sale statute, going back in the same cause, have the sheriff go out and remove those people. Over the years, you know, I've had some easy kick-outs. I've had some really, really difficult ones where you're removing people from property that have been there for 50 years. They may be 80 or 90 years old. I mean, some really sad, sad situations. So again, as a tax sale buyer, you have to factor these things in. Do I have the heart to kick these people out of their homes or remove them from some piece of property that they've been at for years? But it's all litigation. It's all, you know, my job is to talk about tax sale case law and litigation. And I just want all tax sale buyers to be aware of what you're facing. Another aspect of tax sale litigation is it's really an all or nothing process. You either get your tax deed or you don't. You did something wrong. You didn't do the noticing properly. You didn't do it timely. Maybe you didn't petition for your deed timely. So it's an all or nothing situation. So you get this tax deed that says you own it free and clear of all liens and all encumbrances except those that are granted priority under federal and state law. So you may have purchased a $150,000 property for $25,000. Wow, that's a home run. That's a great day for the tax sale buyer. What I like to see when this litigation starts is instead of litigating with someone who's going to come in and file an objection, or they come in, they file a motion to set aside your tax deed, I like to have the courts look at mediation to try to get those cases settled. There may be some slight defect in something you did as a tax sale buyer. You have your deed, you're standing here in a position of power because you have your deed, but you did something that could get set aside later on down the road by a judge. Maybe you sent out a notice that had a small defect, and you're worried about it. This $150,000 house that you just bought for $25,000 could get set aside. Well, mediation is a possibility for you and for that other litigant that filed the objection or the petition to set aside. Mediation is not binding. It's where you have a neutral third party, maybe a former judge, maybe another lawyer that's certified as a mediator, that tries to negotiate a resolution. So maybe there's a resolution between that $150,000 windfall that you paid $25,000. Maybe you could settle at halfway in the middle, hypothetically. So mediation is an option to tax sale buyers. I do know there's some mediators out here today that have experience in the tax sale world. It is an option. When we're talking about tax sale cases, the two hot areas are noticing and tax sale surplus. I would say 90% of the litigation on tax sale issues involves noticing, did you comply with the Indiana statutes and due process, federal due process. And now the new, it's not so new, but it's certainly taken over, the fight over tax sale surplus funds. Who gets it, how much they can claim. There's a great case going on in Marion County right now that the Indiana Attorney General's office filed against asset recovery companies / bounty hunters / whatever you want to call them. And we'll talk about, that's one of the cases that's in my material. So we'll get to that. Another issue that